What's up, guys? Kia Soul channel, getting ready to share a little bit about what I been reading and writing today. And so cool. I'm here with my dog. Let me show you my new dog I got for Christmas. My wife gave me. Oh, I'm done. Okay. We haven't figured out a name for her. I called her initially Christy for Christmas. She's a girl. She really likes snow, so I might change it to Icy, because she be eating snow out here. She loves snow. And then my wife calls her Bella, which means beautiful in Spanish. But she toots too much to be beautiful, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's my dog. We in this car, and so let's get started. Yo, this legit. Finally in the car, and I'm feeling a little motivated today to share a little bit about what I learned today with my quiet time. Those of you that don't know what quiet time is what I read in my Bible. Haven't done that in a while. Today was the first day I actually read my Bible this morning, and I'm excited to share with you guys what I learned, starting with a poem that I wrote. And I thought that maybe I would share it to you guys and see what you guys would think about them. Comment down below in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. This is Kia Soul. Alright, so I hope you guys had a good Christmas and good New Year's. I know we haven't talked about that since I haven't made videos, but I guess some goals that I have for next year is to start school, start reading my Bible more, and goals to get closer to our forever home, you know, building it, buying land and all that good stuff, so that I can carry that down to you know, my son, be a good father for my two sons now. We're now having another son, so that's exciting. And then we're moving soon, so the goal is to move safe and sound, and having a house that is going to be livable for the family. So I'm in the garage. I got the lights on or whatever. But anyway, here's the poem that I'm going to start with, that will kick off the new year and a new reading that I had today. And it goes like this. The title of the poem is Transplant of the Heart. Thinking about any organ going to another person is crazy and mad impressive, that we as people can do incredible things that only God allowed us to fathom. The unthinkable, and how that came to ripple to much more technology and procedures that we have today and in coming futures. Now imagine if you needed a kidney or a lung. You find a match, and the donor is willing to give it to someone like you, and it turns out to be a family member. But don't worry, it's just one organ, and both can live. Remember that you can live with one organ that had two. Now imagine if you needed a heart that was failing you. you have a little time. What do? Days pass and no match. But wait, you find a match, and the donor is willing to give it to someone like you. And it turns out to be someone you don't even know. Now, I wrote this after reading about what I was reading, which was inspired by 1 Peter 2:21 through 25. That was part of a reading from my one of my sermons that I've listened to last year. But with this year, and also with reading the chapter, the verses from 21 to 25, came across Isaiah 53, 5 through 11. Right now, we're probably going to focus on verse 5, which I'll read that to you in just a second. Hold on. Alright, so I paused it for a second. Read Isaiah 53, 5. Got the boy here. He just coming out from sleeping. He's just woken up. But the verse goes, "But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed." So there's 2 footnotes that I want to bring to the table as my son puts on some background music of the drums and whatnot. Footnotes that are on my Bible that is more of like a study Bible is pertaining to Isaiah 53, 5, is, how can a substitute suffer the punishment for our sins? So, I mean, how can a substitute suffer the punishment for our sins? Well, one way I can make an example of this is in sports. Say, a position of any sport, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever. Say they get fouled out, or they get ejected or whatever, because of a fight, or because too many fouls, too many penalties, whatever have you. And then, so this player is to be ejected. But say the all-star player of this team decides, you know what? I'll take the ejection. I'll be the one to leave the team, or leave the game for this guy. And how would that game turn? How would the fans take this? It'd be hard to fathom or to think about, like, who would do that, But here, Jesus took on that substitution for our sins. He said, I'll take the burden, I'll take the ejection, and I'll put it on myself. And, I'll pay for what he owes, But Jesus died on the cross for our sins, and that's something that I believe wholeheartedly. And so we go on to the next question, or the next footnote that was on my Bible that I read today. How are we healed by wounds given to someone else? So, one thing that got me thinking about the poem that I wrote, which is a heart transplant. Now, if you do an example of the heart transplant, You know, like I said in the poem, say somebody's heart is failing and they only got a couple days to live and find a heart that is compatible, that matches your body, your blood type, all that stuff, to make this heart transplant work. Now, if you don't find that match, you're out of luck. You'll die, you know. But what if you did find a match and that person was willing to give their heart to you? Now, that's far more, you know, than you actually sharing your feelings and saying that I'm pouring my heart to you as a person or whatever, being open to you. It's a completely different thing than to say, I'm going to give my actual heart, the heart that makes me tick, that beats in my body, and I'm going to give it to somebody else that I guess I would think needs it more than I do. And I wrestled with that a little bit, because it's like, man, that's crazy. Like, who would do that, you know? And then, you know, I looked to Jesus, and he took his life for my life. He, like I said, in court, you know, we deserve death. Death sentence to all the sins that we've committed in my 30 years now and counting. When I die, you know, they're going to go through my life, go through all the sins and all the stuff that I've done wrong, and then go through all the stuff that I've done good and everything like that. And then, you know, God can say, hey, he deserves death, he deserves hell. But then Jesus comes, objection, you know, from the court. Objection on the court. No, he gave his life to me. I died for his sins, and so he deserves heaven. I gave him life. He believed in me, and he said that he will follow me. And then God looks through the records and sees that I committed my life to Christ. I confessed his name, and I tried to follow the best way I can. And then he's like, you know what? You're right. He deserves heaven. And then the floodgates of heaven just open up, and then it's either I'm just, you know, in awe of just all the glory that God has, or, you know, I fall to my face and I'm speechless, and the scenarios are endless on what would happen when that day comes. And I'm looking forward to that day. Second coming of Jesus is coming sooner than we think. The end is near. And, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And catch you on the flip side tomorrow. Peace.